In this video, we're going to set up your diet to lose fat and get your summer body. And if you're part of the free 14-day Summer Day Success System, welcome to day number 3. Now, the most important thing you can do when setting up your diet is to first identify the triggers that have caused you to overeat in the past. Maybe it's nighttime snacking. What is it about the nighttime that has led you to overeating? Maybe it's typically when you're watching television, you just kind of mindlessly go into the kitchen, look through the cupboards, the fridge, the freezer, grab something out of there. And once you start eating, you just can't stop yourself. And a lot of times it really just comes down to habit. It's been a ritual for you, and it's going to take a little bit of time to break free from that. But in the meantime, what are some alternatives that are going to help you overcome that trigger? Maybe you decide that you're going to chew gum instead. Just the action of chewing is enough to kind of break that habit there. Or maybe you decide to make yourself some sugar-free Jell-O, a nice little low-calorie snack to munch on while you're watching television there. Or maybe it's pickles. That has worked for me in the past. It's something that is, I love the crunch. I love the vinegary taste from it. So there was a lot of satisfaction that I gained from a low-calorie snack. And then you get to the point where you're just like, you know what? I just don't really need anything while I'm watching television here. I'm fine. I'm not really hungry. I was just eating from habit before, so I'm just gonna avoid eating at all right now because I'm not actually hungry. You just become aware. So it's really having that heightened sense of awareness throughout the process. Or maybe you can just find another alternative. Maybe you're not really even watching television was a habit. It's not even a show that you enjoy. Maybe you can get out for a walk. Maybe you can do some stretching or read a book or do some meditation, something that's going to help you wind down for the night. So there's lots of different alternatives that you can utilize in order to overcome that trigger. Maybe it's dealing with boredom. So it's again very easy. All right, when you find yourself bored and you're going through the cupboards, all right. What can I try to occupy myself right now? Get out for a walk, do some exercise, do some stretching, anything other than eating at the time, which really isn't going to help you overcome your boredom. You're just going to keep eating, trying to satisfy this boredom when you really should be out there living your life to the fullest. Maybe it is stress. Now, the one thing that I can tell you for certain is that overeating is not going to help you manage your stress. If anything, it's only going to add to your stress. So finding ways to manage your stress a lot better. So first of all, trying to focus your attention on working towards a solution rather than just thinking of the problem and just occupying your mind constantly with the problem there, worrying and stressing over it. Think to yourself, all right, this sucks. I'm in a crappy situation that's stressing me out, but what is in my control? Let's let go of what's out of my control. What can I do right now that's going to help me move forward? What is going to help me work on a solution to reduce my stress in this moment? Maybe it's whatever the work project is or life thing, you're finding some solutions to work towards it. And in the meantime, doing things that are going to help you manage your stress, like getting outside, exercising. Sleep is going to be absolutely huge and tremendous. Maybe supplementing with something like ashwagandha, magnesium, anything to calm your mind, calm your body. Maybe it's just taking a break. Maybe you've been go. The best thing for you to do right now, all right, maybe Netflix and chill, or go have a bonfire, something like that to just calm your mind at this time. Come back, try to come up with a solution at that point when you're in a better frame of mind. So finding ways to cope with your stress rather than turning to food, which is only going to add to your stress. Maybe it is social gatherings, social outings where you find yourself caving into peer pressure. You're good for the most part, and then finally you're twisting your arm. Next thing you know, you're having more drinks than you wanted to have, or eating foods that you don't even enjoy. You're doing it just to satisfy your friends. Like, that's not going to help you. That's not anything that's going to really allow you to live your life to the fullest. You got to stand up for yourself and do what is going to serve you best in that moment. Have a great time. You're already having a great time prior to overindulging in alcohol and food. Just keep that up. Or maybe you find ways to make room for a little extra food or an extra drink throughout the day. You reduce your calories throughout the day to have room to enjoy that experience. Or maybe you eat leading up to it, so you arrive there not feeling hungry at all, so you're not tempted to eat at that point. Just coming up with different options that are going to allow you to overcome those triggers that have held you back in the past. Now, I highly recommend during this 14-day, the Summer Body Success System here, I encourage you to track your intake. It's just 14 days. Afterwards, you can stop it. I guarantee you it is going to be an eye-opening educational experience. You'll be surprised at how many calories are in the portion sizes that you're consuming. So yes, pull out a little food scale from time to time and just measure out the food that you're eating and go, holy smokes, like that's the proper portion for this amount of calories. Like I think a lot of people are surprised, especially when they're going for something like nuts or trail mix or something like that. They measure out the portion size, say it's like 85 grams on the container, that is 85 grams is 300 calories, and you're like, oh man, the portion size I'm having is like 3 times as much as I'm having 800 calories when I thought I was only having 200 or 300 calories. So it's a very eye-opening educational experience with how much you're actually consuming and just what the general makeup is of those foods. But tracking is just meant to be temporary. I don't track anymore, just from time to time, but it's all a part of the process. You want to take yourself, especially through this 14 days here, from a point where it's referred to as conscious incompetence, where you kind of know what you need to do to improve your diet and to lose fat, but you're just not able to stick with it. And then you move to the point of conscious competence, where you are aware of what you need to consume and you're doing it on a daily basis, but you have to think about it each and every day. You have to be mindful of the portions that you're consuming, mindful of the activities that you're doing. Then we're going to shift to the point of unconscious competence, where you're doing all the things that you want to do to thrive and bring out the best in you, live your life to the fullest, doing all the things that bring great joy to your life, and you don't have to think about it. It's automatic. That's the stage that I'm at right now. It's why I don't have to track anymore. I've put that work in the past to get to this point where I'm at right now. And that's what I want from you, where you're not thinking about these things. You have this heightened sense of awareness. And that's the thing. When you're tracking your intake through the next 14 days, I want you to be aware of what that portion size looks like, how much that food satiates you, does it provide you with any energy immediately, and how does it sustain your energy over the course of the next few hours? Does it maintain it? Does it sustain it? Or do you crash after a certain point? So having a heightened sense of awareness with the foods that you are consuming. So tracking your intake, I highly encourage it during the next 14 days. Of course, you could just go with portion control with what you're already eating. That's fine. But I'd rather you just really use this as an educational experience, an eye-opening experience that's really going to serve you over the long term. So how much should you eat? We're going to go back to day number 2, where we talked about the ideal. If you want to maximize your fat loss without losing any muscle mass through the process, you want to aim to lose between 0.5 and 1% of your total body weight per week. So if you're weigh 200 pounds, you'd be aiming to lose between 1 and 2 pounds per week. So let's say in general, the general rule of thumb here is that if you want to lose 1 pound per week, you want to create a 500 calorie deficit per day. You want to lose 1.5 pounds per week, 750 calorie deficit, 2 pounds per week. You want to create a 1,000 calorie deficit per day in order to lose that weight. Now, I really look at things on a weekly basis, so we're going to get to that in a moment. So how do you create a 500 calorie or a 750 calorie or a 1,000 calorie deficit? First of all, you need to know what your maintenance level calories are. I'll include a link down below in the description to the calculator on my website. You enter age, height, weight, your activity level. That's going to give you your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure. So that's approximately how many calories you would consume on a daily basis just to maintain your weight. So from there, if you want to lose 1 pound per week, you subtract 500 calories from that. 1.5 pounds, subtract 750 calories from that. Lose 2 pounds per week, you subtract 1,000 calories from that TDEE. Now, for myself personally, 150 pound bro, I want to lose 1% of my total body weight per week. So I'm going to aim to lose 1.5 pounds per week. For me, that works to be about 2,000 calories a day. If I consume that on a daily basis, I should lose about 1.5 pounds per week. Again, I'm going to have little spikes in my weight up and down. It's not going to be like consistent each and every day, but the trend week after week will be about 1.5 pounds there. Now, what I do like to recommend when it comes to fat loss is that you don't necessarily have to eat the exact number of calories each and every day. You wouldn't have to stick to 2,000 calories every single day. Look at things on a weekly basis. So it'd be 14,000 calories for the week. So let's say today is a day. You've got an event planned. You want to eat a little bit more. Let's say you go 200 calories over your target of 2,000 for the day. So you end up eating 2,200 calories. It's not like you blew your diet. Tomorrow you could eat 1,800 calories and it would balance things out, or maybe eat 1,900 calories the next day and 1,900 calories the day after that. So it's not as big of a difference. You're not going to feel too hungry the day afterwards. And that's going to level things out. So you can have a day where you eat a little bit more if the opportunity presents itself and you really want to do that, you really feel like you need to do that, you do it, but you make up for it throughout the rest of the week by reducing your calories, eating a little less than the 200 calories each and every day until things balance out at the end of the week. Now, my personal preference, I've done it in the past where Friday nights I'd be out with the guys and I'd eat in like a 500 calorie surplus, so sometimes a little bit more, and I have to really make up for it throughout the rest of the week. So I'd experience a big spike in my weight the next day after indulging, having that cheat day, if you want to call it that. And then I would have to like drastically reduce my calories for the rest of the week in order to make up for that one day of overindulgence. So I felt really uncomfortable that next day. I was sluggish. I slept crappy that night, which led to me just not having the kind of energy the next day. And then as the week went on, and I'm deeper in a calorie deficit, I just found that my performance in the gym was suffering. I was a little bit more lethargic. So my energy levels weren't sustained. And I found like it wasn't until, so it was usually Friday night when I had that cheat day. It wasn't until like Wednesday, finally, I'm like, wow, I'm right back to where I was before the Friday weigh. And then the next 2 days is when I kind of felt like I made the progress. Even though you're making progress each and every day, it just, you don't see it because it's not, the scale weight changes based on like the volume that you ate and everything in your stomach and everything. So I prefer to keep the calories consistent each and every day because it makes it a lot easier to measure your progress, to really have a good idea of whether or not you're moving in the right direction. And it's less, has less of a psychological impact. Like you're not stressing out, oh my God, I blew my diet, I pigged out, look how much my weight spiked up, now I gotta make up for it. It just, I think makes a more enjoyable process when you can kind of keep things as consistent as possible throughout the entire process. So now that you know, like, yeah, for myself personally, my example there, I want to lose 1.5 pounds per week. My target is 2,000 calories per day. How many meals should I eat per day? That goes back to video number 1, where it's all comes down to what suits you best. This is you, your lifestyle, working with your natural eating tendencies. How many meals per day do you typically eat that suit you and your lifestyle best? What's the timing of those meals? And do you prefer to have like a lighter breakfast? You're not so hungry in the morning, and you prefer to have like a large dinner at night, or maybe you prefer to have a larger breakfast and a much smaller dinner. You sleep better at night when you don't have as much food in your stomach. Maybe you like to have 3 decent sized meals, pretty even in size, and then just one smaller meal, it kind of more like a snack there. So it can be different. It's all based on you fitting in the meals that you typically eat, the foods that you typically eat to hit your calorie target for the day. There are no foods that are off limits. There's no foods that you absolutely need to eat. Again, we're trying to improve upon your natural eating tendencies. So again, using that nut trail mix example there, like if that's part of your natural eating tendencies and you realize, holy smokes, like I'm eating 800 calories of trail mix and it's really not satisfying my hunger all that much. I'm like hungry shortly afterwards. Maybe I'm better off having something like a chicken stir fry or some sort of lean protein, maybe eggs, oats, and berries, along with some veggies there. You have something that's going to be more satiating, sustain your energy throughout the day, sustain your appetite through the day, more so than foods that are like higher in calories, but smaller in the portion size there. So those are the things to be aware of when it comes to improving upon your nutrition. So you're working with your natural eating tendencies, but you're trying to improve upon them. You kind of look at things, you're tracking your progress there, and you realize, holy smokes, like my protein is quite low. What can I do to bump it up a little bit more? Maybe you find ways to work in like some hard-boiled eggs throughout the day, or some smoked salmon, or some beef jerky. It's a lot easier to increase your protein intake than a lot of people think. If you really need to have a shake, again, have a shake to get your protein up there. But again, pay attention to how satiating that makes you feel. A lot of times like a protein shake or a protein bar isn't all that satiating to people. So having that heightened sense of awareness when it comes to that. So really that is what it's all about when it comes to your diet, is first tracking your intake, to be aware, have that eye-opening experience, have that educational experience of the portion sizes that you need to consume, building upon your natural eating tendencies, and trying to hit a weekly weight loss target and keeping your intake, your calorie intake consistent throughout the week. And as you become more and more aware of that, you get your nutrition structure in place where you have a lot of same meals that you're eating each and every day. Maybe you stick with like, there's maybe 2, maybe 3 different, one to 3 different breakfasts that you would have. Maybe there's like 1 to 4 different lunches that you'd have. And maybe you have like 7 to 10 dinners that you're going to rotate throughout the week. You have certain meal structures in place that become automatic for you. You have a good idea of the portion sizes that you're consuming, the meals that you're eating throughout the week, and it's leading to the weight loss that you're experiencing. You know how you're feeling because you have that heightened sense of awareness. Say, yeah, I feel satiated but not full. I know I'm on the right track here. You're going to get to the point where you don't need to track your calories anymore. That's really what we're working towards. So I hope you found this beneficial in setting up your diet in a way that's going to allow you to lose fat and get your summer body. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask and drop them down in the comment section below. You can send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook, or send me an email and let me know what your diet currently looks like and how you'd like to improve upon it, or the triggers that have caused you to overeat and how you may be able to overcome them. So let's get the discussion going here. I really want to help you, support you every step of the way throughout this 14-day journey here. So again, please do not hesitate to reach out. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do me a huge favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really, really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. I'll include a link down below in the description, as well as a top pinned comment. Have yourself an amazing day. I'll catch you in the next video.